right. What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36. Doing a little Florida State camp follow up. Mike Norvell had an elite camp this past weekend, was full of different things. He had his elite camp on Saturday. They had the mega camp on Sunday. Friend of fifth quarter, Den Media Group, Luke. Kromenhoek bumping. We got Hawk on back with us, and we've had him on a little while ago when he committed to Florida State, class of 2024, quarterback commit. He was over there competing, getting after it, and we just wanted to kind of get a little wrap up. Forget what a bunch of pencil neck reporters or washed former football players like myself are having to say. Why not get a guy who actually experienced it, has gone through it, done the different things, to get him and his perspective on what's actually going on over at Florida State and with the camp. So, man, how you feeling right now, Luke?
I'm feeling good, real good.
Okay, so you made the drive all the way from Savannah. And I know that's got to be one of the most, I won't lie to you, one of the most boring trips in the Southeast is Jacksonville to Tallahassee. There's only one other trip that's worse than that. That's Tallahassee to Pensacola. So what do you? What's the trip like from Savannah coming all the way down over there?
Man, to be honest with you, I just sit there and watch Netflix.
Okay, well that makes things a lot different. It's not like when I was coming up, man, and mom makes you some sandwiches and you got to pack your own drinks and ain't no stopping unless you got to go over to the side of the road. That was what recruiting was like, 21 years ago when I was going through the process. And, no quick ways to get there, but so you made the trip over to Tallahassee, and what was it like? What was the greeting like when you saw the coaching staff?
They had the war chant going right when I walked up. There were a whole bunch of reporters outside the Bobby Bowden statue taking my picture. Coach Tokarts came out, dapped me up. I saw a couple other coaches, and the war chant music was playing in the background, super loud. It was awesome.
This is a safe space. What is it like having a bunch of grown men accost you, ask you for your pictures and all? So what's the when you see the reporters? Are you like, hey man, I'm welcoming this, bring it, or you're like, hey man, I'm here for business? What is your mentality going into that?
I try to ignore it. I'm just it's like a business trip when I go down there, so I try to ignore it, but sometimes it's hard. There's like 7 dudes taking their cameras out and getting some pictures of you and stuff. You're like, oh damn.
They are aggressive, and sometimes I like to pick on them. They're good guys. They mean well, but I'm like, hey, dude, you're camped out there for like 5 hours, bro. Like, yeah, come on, let these guys live and breathe, man. They're here to work. So you saw Coach Tony, great guy. Love getting an opportunity to meet him. I saw him here in Jacksonville when he's been recruiting, and you say you saw Coach Novell again?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Same energy, same love that you got when you had that phone call when you committed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got there around like 12-ish, and I was straight into a meeting with him. So it was me, my dad, my little sister, and then my 7v7 coach and his son. And they took us straight up to a meeting, and it was awesome.
Shout out to 7v7 coach, man. Who is he?
Shane Dean. He's my quarterback, offensive coordinator coach for the 7v7 team that I play for.
All right, and which 7v7 team is it?
Team Dimes.
Okay, cool. So Team Dimes, make sure y'all watch out for these guys as they continue to progress. And so when you got there, you had your meeting with Coach Novell. Any things that you care to share? Any conversations that you guys had talking about, where you stand, what they want to do, as well as maybe some other guys' additions that they might want to bring into the 2024 class offensively?
Yeah, it was, we talked about getting on some guys and, me reaching out to some players and furthering my relationship with Cam Davis and Camden Pryor. And then we just talked about, leadership and my team back home, my high school team, because Coach Tokarts came up and saw me. And so we talked about that and what he saw at the practice, and we kind of just hung out and just chit chat.
All right, so you and Cam Davis are on the same 7v7 team, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I play with Cam Davis. We do tight action together, and played with Team Dimes in a tournament as well.
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I saw a clip. I hate camp drills, and I don't get excited about stuff like that. But woo, good night. I saw the acceleration, the cut, the burst. I'm like, yo, please, hey, do whatever we gotta do. Like, don't let him decommit. He can't.
Yeah, I know it.
He has to
Trust me.
come.
I know
Oh,
it. That's one scary dude to be.
You guys go in. You meet with Coach Novell. What was the what did you guys do after that? Did you guys get a chance to tour the campus? Because I believe you came to the Notre Dame game
Yes,
last year, correct? So you haven't really got a chance. You've seen the practice facilities, but have you seen anything else on Florida State's campus during your commitment time and all these other times?
Yeah, they've taken me all over on the golf carts. I came down with my mom, and she's all into the education and stuff. So they took us and showed us like the buildings and the school buildings and all that good stuff. Yeah, they took us all over. We ate at Madison Social. They were showing us College Town, showing us where the players live.
After the meeting with Coach Novell, what did you guys do? What did you do after that?
After the meeting with Coach Novell, we went to College Town. They have I forget what it's called. I forget the name of it, but they take the boosters there and they show them they have all that stuff on the wall about all the great players and all the national championships. And then they took me in there and they let me get the spear and put the spear in the ground. And then the whole a movie came up and that was sick.
Oh wow, that's awesome. So when you put the spear in the ground,
yeah, you stab it in the ground. It's like a big old theater almost thing, and it starts playing highlights and Coach Novell's talking, and it's sick.
I need Coach to win, man. I really like Mike. I like the way, and hearing him talk, man, it gets you kind of motivated, man. I won't even.
Yes, sir, for sure.
People get mad at me because I'm just an old school guy. The standard is the standard, which I got from Coach Novell, and boy, did they hold us to the standard when I played, and I loved it. You don't come here to be average. You come here to be great. And what's tough is, and this is something for you to when you're continuing to train and think about that. Do you know how difficult it is to be one of the top 10 players in Florida State history at any position?
Yes, sir.
Even being top 20, you're an NFL prospect, but being top 10, you come here, you're top 10, you're a generational talent. That means you're coming in and everybody's going to remember your name, and it's just dope. And that's the standard that we got to get back to. And I think it all starts with getting recruiting back on track. And we got Luke Hawk from out of Savannah, Georgia, class of 2024 commit, saying he linked up with a no legacy Camden Fryer, and he says he's on the hook for Cam Davis. So he's going to personally try to usher and pull Cam Davis across that finish line. So we're going to try to hold him to that. Just joking with you, but after you guys, went out there and you put the spear and they basically gave you some vision casting about what your future is going to be like in Florida State. Did you guys get some chow? Did y'all go just hang out a little bit more? What did you guys do after that?
We went back to the stadium and we went into the players' lounge where everybody was getting their pictures taken. I played some pool, hung out, just.
Wait a minute, you know how to shoot pool?
I mean, I'm not very good.
Playing. Okay, all right.
I'm not very good.
Gotcha.
But I was just in there playing ping pong and pool and just chilling.
When did you guys start doing some athletic stuff? Because this sounds like this is about 4 hours of just chilling and talking and chewing the fat. So what was the first thing that you guys did that just, got the competitive juices flowing?
Oh, we went over to the basketball, went over to the basketball place, and whole bunch of people were hooping. I played a 1v1 against Coach Alex, the assistant quarterback coach. I whooped him, of course.
Okay.
And then a whole bunch of guys were playing knockout. Some dudes were doing 360 windmill dunks. It was pretty sick.
Who's the most who had the best dunk or the most athletic dunk that you can remember if you can remember their name?
I can't remember their name, but I saw a huge lineman, 350, like slam it, and I was like, damn, he can get up there.
Wow, 3 foot man. We need to get.
Yeah.
Hey, coach. Like if y'all, I know y'all be listening low key. Y'all don't like comment or something, but I know y'all inbox me who the 350-pound guy with the 360 slant, because that's what we need on our line. Whether it's
Yeah,
offense
it
or
was.
defense, we need cats.
Yeah, there were some athletes there. They were doing some pretty crazy things.
All right, cool. That's kind of outside the box a little bit, going to the tuck to go shoot around a little bit and doing things like that. So, all right, let's talk about what everybody really wants to know. So the nitty gritty. Y'all go out there. What was this like? Your traditional camp where you guys got to run 40s, you do your athletic stuff, and then you do and then just and how many people were there? Like that's the question that everybody's asking. Was this a large elite camp, or was it really just kind of specialized into where they can get a chance to really know each prospect?
There was about 70 kids, 70 athletes there. It was smaller, so I think it was kind of just like, they wanted to really show and put a lot of attention into each player. But yeah, it was about 70 kids, and it started off with meetings. We came back from basketball in the buses. They had like 4 or 5 buses pick us up, and they took us back, and we had position meetings. And then, we went into the locker room, and they had our names on the lockers with jerseys and a camp shirt and the catapult device that would track your heart rate and your speed and all that good stuff. And then from there, we walked over to the indoor facility. Quarterbacks went earlier because to warm up, everybody had to do their warm up. So we left position meetings a little earlier before everybody else did and got over there and warmed up. And then from there, we went on to stretch as a whole group. So everybody was stretching, everybody was getting hype, music was blaring. And then after we got done stretching, we went to positions, and linemen would go and work on their stuff. D linemen would go and work on their stuff. And then we'd do that for about 30 minutes of positions. And then we went into routes on air. And we got to, get the feel for the receivers and get the deep ball going and all that good stuff. And we did that for about another 30, 40 minutes of just routes on air and all that good stuff. And then we got into the good part, the one-on-ones there, where everybody was competing and getting after it.
State gets down, how Coach Tony's going to coach you, and so these guys. So it wasn't just like, all right, we're going to just do a bunch of drills and feel good stuff. This was like, yo, if I come to Florida State, this is what it's going to be.
It was like a practice form camp, pretty much. It was like, last visit I went and I watched the practice, and they ran this camp exactly like they ran their practice.
Oh, that's it. That's interesting. So, what was the quarterback room like for you there? Like, who were some of the other guys that you noticed or that stood out? And then once y'all got competing, who was the guy that you were just like, all right, man, this guy got a live arm. Let me step my game up.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterback room there was, it was pretty stacked. Chris Parsons, of course, was there. And there were a couple 25s that were some big names. Colin Hurley, he was there. Tramel Jones, he was there.
TJ. Okay.
Yeah, TJ, he's awesome. And Lachlan Hewitt was there. So there was a couple good guys.
Nice. About how many quarterbacks there, if you remember?
I think in total there were 7 of us.
Oh wow! So you basically named all of them. So, but all of them. So it was pretty good competition. Good room. Sure. Okay. Nice. Who were? So I know you talked about Cam Davis, running back. If you don't know Cam, it's Cam Nice. We got that.
Yeah.
Who are some of the other athletes on offense that were there? Obviously, with you throwing into the wide receivers, guys that you got a chance to throw to, or guys that you just saw really move very, very well on the other quarterbacks. Who are some of the top wide receivers that you saw, if you remember their names?
One guy that stood out most to me was Camden Fryer. That dude is legit and he can fly. He was killing it all 1v1s and routes on air. There was one time where I stepped back and I just launched it and he just absolutely ran under it. Like, he just flew down that field and ran under it. And I was like, damn, this dude's legit.
Man, let me tell you, man. This is how you know if you're a real FSU fan. So when I was growing up, his dad,
Yeah,
like
his
that
dad.
guy, like I'm gonna talk to you candidly because you're gonna be in that locker room, and this is how locker rooms go. Just want you to know this. This is one of the highest compliments that people can get in football. Because I don't know if you realize this, but it's a lot of African Americans that play wide receiver position. But when you're a white boy and you start at Florida State, and people know who you are, do you know how bad you gotta be?
Yeah,
That was
you gotta be one badass.
that was a badass white dude, and it looked like
Yes,
it looks like his son is gonna
for
step up
sure.
into that into that. But yeah, Camden is Lavo Swanee, and what's funny is his coach Kyler Hall was my combine training roommate, and he was a badass white boy too at safety. So like he got it's either it's in him now. It's in him. It's in him from his coach, and it's in it from his dad, and just
Yes, sir.
the Friar is a name of royalty at Florida State. So Camden commit. That's a guy, and I'm glad you guys are starting to get that bond
Yeah.
and link together. That's important. Anybody else stand out to you?
Not names that I can remember. I mean, there were definitely some dogs out there, and there was one play, and Chris threw the ball, and I don't know the dude's name, but he like went up and over the DB and just like snatched it from him, and I was like, dang.
Good. That's what we need. One of the things that I do remember growing up, because as I always tell people, I have probably one of the coolest perspectives in all FSU media, but in media in general. I grew up I was a fan first, then I became a player, and then I covered it. So when I'm talking about it, I'm talking about it from, and I was in Tallahassee during the dynasty era. So like, I saw the '93 team. I saw 90. I was my formative years, my real years, 97, 98, 99, 2000, where we basically played back to back national championships, and some injuries and some weird stuff prevented us from winning multiple. But the guys was cooking and it was rocking in Tallahassee. So, but I had this picture on my wall of Snoop Menace, who's shout out to Snoop. He'll be a Hall of Fame. He's going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame this fall. And I don't know whether Chris Winkie was throwing the ball, but there was a Florida DB like right to his left, and he like jumps up, reaches over,
Yeah.
grabs the ball, and brings it back in and gets both feet in the end zone. And like so, that's the kind of wide receivers that we used to have, and that's what we got to start recruiting in. And nobody knows it better than Coach Ron Dugans, who again was a part of those dynasty era teams that brought Tallahassee back. So good competition. What was so you got good wide receivers. So what was the DBs like when it was coming? Was there any difference, or like you've seen this kind of speed in practice or in your 7-on-7s, or was there some guys on the defense that kind of stood out to you when you were watching?
There were definitely some guys out there. I really wasn't worried about anybody. I was kind of just me and the receiver out there just playing catch pretty much. So I wasn't really worried about any DBs because, I mean, if they're at Florida State, if they're at that lead camp, I know they're going to be good. So I wasn't really worried about anybody. I already knew what I was getting into when I went there. But, I mean, there were definitely some dudes there. I don't really have names. But, I mean, there were some dogs.
Here with Luke Hawk, as we call him, in fifth quarter, 2024 commit out of Savannah, Georgia. Following up, getting a recap of FSU's elite camp. He went out there, did a good job. How would you rate your overall performance, man? How do you feel like you did after leaving the camp? Do you feel like you continue to show the coaches that, hey, I am QB1 in 2024, and where does it go from here?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely thought that, I went out there and competed for sure. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, of course. There's always room for improvement. And so I learned a lot, and I'm going to go home back here, and I'm going to go work on that stuff. And hopefully next time when I go up there, I can, fix it and try and get perfect.
How's the recruiting process going for you since you've committed? Is it something where it's kind of just slowed up, or is it starting to kind of explode now that everybody's kind of realizing who you are?
It's starting to explode, for sure. A couple of schools have, reached out and giving me offers, but still solid with Florida State, of course.
Okay, so how does that go? Like when you get we've seen the tweets and things like that. Is it just something like, all right, man, I got to be gracious in this process because I don't know where these other guys. Hell, they might be at Florida State when I'm there, but
Right.
or what is it going? How's the communication with Coach Tony been going?
Well, I mean, of course, every kid loves getting recruited. They love getting offers. They love all the hype. So, I definitely love all that. That's awesome. But, before I post every offer that I get, I always make a phone call to Coach Tokarts and, let him know. And we talk about it. And he tells me that he wants me to post all those offers, that he loves it, that, he wants me to put it out there and show people that, I'm getting all these offers and getting all this hype. But, I always call him and let him know because, I'm committed to Florida State. That's my home. So just want to let him know.
All right, cool, man. So you heard it there, man. He's enjoying the process as you should. As I always tell people, you're the pretty girl in prom right now, man. Enjoy it because once you sign that sheet of paper, man, you're nothing but a snot-nosed freshman again. Like you get bumped right back down again. And you got to earn everything that you came in with, no matter what happens. But at the same time, FSU fans, he says all you can do is judge a man by what it is right now. So like he's out here enjoying the process, competing, getting better, continuing to train, and as he said, he's going to take what he learned from the elite camp, competing against some of the best in the nation, and try to continue to get better. And on this fall, compete and go out there, try to win you another state championship, right?
Yes, sir, for sure.
Got big shoes to follow, especially filling in for another quarterback that went Division I. So again, this is at Big Game James _36 with Luke Kromenhoek, aka Hawk. To all our fifth quarter users, and we're giving you a breakdown, not from old washed athletes' perspective, but from the guys who actually went through it. Thoroughly impressed with the elite camp that Coach Novell did, and some of the guys they've been able to jump on elite evaluations, and hopefully at the end of the day, they win. They close on these guys, and this can potentially bring Florida State back to the promised land, in which most of us who are over the age of 25 have only known us to be. These last few years are the dark eras when we don't know what this is like. So we're going to get out of this, and it takes recruiting and solid young men like you. Was Pops happy? Pops happy. Yes. He made that drive?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He loves it.
All right, cool, man. Well, hey, man, keep your grades up. Stay healthy, man. Keep working with Denny, and we'll chop it up later, all right?
Yes, sir.
The fact that when I get onto Twitter right now, the only avatar I see is the clown with the shod mustache is unbelievable. And I don't live anywhere else. I've never lived in another NFL city, so I don't know if this is normal behavior. For Jacksonville Twitter alone, I don't want to be a fan of anybody else.
I just remember when they got the 100 loss, they sent me a shirt. They were selling shirts, finding ways to try to have fun with this being abysmal. It's so uniting of everybody that when somebody tried to write a think piece about it, like something about a minority owner with a clown face, just doesn't sit right with me. I'm like, come on. Like, I'm sure maybe some of the people who put this on their face, as they advertise, probably are racist. I don't know. But what I will say is this: if you can't see that this is some clownish behavior, and you can't find the humor in this, then there's something wrong with you.